Little shot of cocaine before we start.
I think we're live, so thanks for sharing that. That was
Just
good.
nose spray.
Oh, we are live. Okay. Welcome to Hopeifiers, the show where we tell stories that you wish were true, stories that you wish were true, and we share things that are audaciously optimistic. My partner in crime with this show is Scott A. Sweetman. How are you this evening, Scott Sweetman?
Good. I was a little congested, so I was using some nose spray, which I hope doesn't show up on camera because it looks a little crazy. But nonetheless, I'm feeling okay. Just I had a COVID test, not COVID. Just that time of year, I think fall. I get a little.
Got it. Happens to everybody. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people, right? This is
Yeah.
a common thing that this is a time of year.
Spring and fall, we all kind of get it, right? Harvest time. Yeah. My uncle's used to be a big farmer, and he was allergic to grain dust. Can you imagine?
Oh my.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was
That'd have been a problem being a farmer allergic to grain dust. So
yeah, he did all right though. He took shots and wore masks, did whatever he had to do, but he got through it. So
yeah,
I never complain. I think of him whenever I feel like I'm hard done by with allergies. But
yes, yeah, wow, that would have been a real challenge. All right,
you bet. How are you feeling today? Good.
I am feeling good, sir. Yes.
Good.
No,
I want to hit you with some stuff right off the bat here. Let's start out.
Let's go, man.
Rolling, okay?
All right.
So I did a little research. Imagine that.
Good job. Nicely done. You did better than I did. I did have a little video queued up but you're way ahead of me. So we're going with your program. So go.
Okay. No, we can do what I have to say and then we can change. We'll see. Okay. So I looked up what are symbols of hope, sort of universal symbols of hope.
Okay.
Like I know we all have personal symbols of hope, and in different religions there's symbols of hope, but these are sort of general ones that are supposed to be general to humankind across the board. Okay. Bird of hope is dove, and at first I thought maybe that's a Christian response, but I found it in a lot of other cultures too.
I thought it was peace.
Yeah,
I thought
peace and hope.
Okay, both. Okay,
yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you think about it, I guess if you're hopeful for peace, especially because peace is like good that we can't have too much of everywhere, right? If everywhere had peace, man, life on Earth for all humans would be substantially better, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of pigeons, and doves kind of remind me of pigeons. So
I see.
It's not on my top 10 or 15 or 20 list of birds, but that's what the research said. So we can buy it or not. That's what it says.
All right.
Animal of hope, I'm a little more in tune there with. And again, these are just survey results, so I'm not 100% sure why, but it's dog.
Okay. And now, wait a minute. Let's clarify about your methodology with this survey. Is the dog in question that has hope? Is that specifically your dog with your name of your dog? Is that the one?
No, it's not. These come from admittedly, hard research is a little bit difficult because using libraries these days is problematic. But so these are electronic searches that come up with this result. So it could be 26 guys in their basement. They're the only ones who see it as hope, but this is what comes up when you go searching.
Got it. Well, I can certainly see, in terms of the beneficial effects of a pet, right? Like, the whole, as you're petting your dog, that's like your dog loves it, but it's great for you, right? Like, it works both ways, right? It's a very healing type of a practice to spend time with animals, right? So
I was thinking too, like you've got your Saint Bernards, right? The rescue dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs are associated with civilization. Anywhere there's settlements in the world, there's usually dogs. So if you were lost and you saw a domesticated dog rather than a wolf or a coyote, right?
Yeah.
That usually lets you know that there's other people nearby.
Wouldn't that be a huge thing of hope, right? That, you're lost out somewhere and you see a dog and the dog's friendly. It's like, take me home, lassie, right? Yeah. Cool.
Well, and I know from earthquake EMTs that use dogs, that people that are buried and they hear that dog scratching, and the dogs that are trained for recovery of survivors, that's a lot of hope too. So I can see it. I don't think it
Yeah.
has to just be pets. I can see that one. Number of hope. Now this one I'm not so sure about because
7.
I know in Asia this number is associated with death.
Oh,
But that's what the internet tells me. It's 4. 4
4.
is considered the number of hope.
Hmm.
Couldn't
Okay.
find an explanation for that one. Can you think of anything? Why?
Or directions.
Yeah, I thought 4 corners, like a home or a fort or
Yeah.
like a fence or you know.
Yes, that's interesting. I don't really know why 4, but your research has indicated 4 is the number of
Yeah,
hope. Okay.
yeah, but I know in Japan and certainly other parts of Asia, 4 is avoided because it's same character for death, or same sound as death.
Okay.
So it's not, so I don't know. That some of these, like I said, it'd be interesting. Maybe some of our viewers out there, if you can tell us why 4 might be considered the number of hope, lay it on us. Or if you have another number that you associate with hope, or in your culture or in your family, share that with us, right, Alan? We want to hear it.
Sure. Like, do you want to, should we give out our phone number?
Let's do that.
We have a phone number. Let me find it. Hang on a second. What is it again? Where would I find that, Scott? Oh, I know.
1-800-HOPE. Give us a call. No,
Yeah,
that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
it would be. Wait a minute. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Yeah, I might.
Leave us a comment. Leave us a comment, right? Sure.
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. I know where. A comment is great. Or on I think I had a show recently where I pushed the phone number right in the title of the show.
Nice.
Said it was the call-in show. So I'll just find that, and then I'll announce that number.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I'll keep going here.
You keep going. You're doing great.
Next one I agree with. I think this is pretty universal, pretty happy. Flowers of hope. Can you guess what the flower of hope would be?
A daisy.
Close. I found sunflowers, which I thought, okay, fair enough, right? It's in the name. Sun is kind of hopeful.
Yeah.
Daffodils and cactus flowers.
Cactus flowers.
Yeah, I think they're the ones I've seen are sort of red, and they're really pretty, and they grow on the end of a cactus. So sunflowers was the ones I associated with. Are you connected with any of those? The sort of hopeful imagery?
Well, sunflowers I can sure see. I mean, that makes sense. Even, how sunflowers turn their head towards the sun, kind of a thing, that they're keep rotating towards. The phone number, if you want to call in and share your thoughts, keep us on track, that'd be great. We're at 587-813-6552. I don't know what happens when somebody calls. Let's try it. If you call, I'm hoping we could answer and have a conversation. I've had this phone since January of this year. I don't think we've had one call.
That's hope right there, Al.
That's
hope.
I'm optimistic. Somebody will call. So, all right.
Well, even if they just call in to say Sweetman's list is insane, we don't know what he's doing. That's okay too. We're cool with that.
Okay.
Colors of hope. I sort of
blue.
guessed.
Blue.
Yeah, blue's one. Think of some warm colors. Warm, hopeful.
Like yellow.
Yellow, big one. Yeah, that was number 1.
Is it number 1? Okay.
Yeah, orange, then blue, then green, and then red. A little surprised by red. Red's sort of an aggressive color, right? They tell you not to use red in places like prisons or schools or.
Yellow, orange, blue, green. Is that what you said?
Yeah, and yellow, orange, blue, green, red.
Really interesting.
Yeah. I'm going with all of them but red. I'm confused by red.
Yeah, that makes sense. Red would be, I would think, more aggressive than hopeful. Yeah. I went to blue, but that's probably because that's my favorite color is blue. So,
But I don't know on your monitor, I can't say in real life, but behind you looks like a big color swatch of red, right?
Yes, this is all red, and then we got this kind of like pinky door, gold door, and blue door.
Right. Well, so red Hopeifiers, we're there.
There you go.
I don't know. We'll leave that up to our viewers to think about.
Scott,
behind these was and we'll get to that.
Scott,
Aromas of hope.
if you found it on the internet, it must be true.
Gotta be true.
It's gotta be. Okay.
Yeah. Abraham Lincoln famously said, there was nothing but truth on the internet.
There you go. We're in good shape.
I believe him, right?
We got to believe Abraham Lincoln.
Trust honest Abe. Forget it. The answer
exactly.
is there. So, yeah. So aromas of hope. Smell is a big one, right? Scientists, psychologists say that aromas or scent are key to memory, to recall. It affects a lot of chemical responses in our body. So I'm with this one. Not sure of the first one. Peppermint came up.
Peppermint.
Yeah, peppermint. And I
know a hopeful aroma. Peppermint.
Yeah. Number one.
Okay.
But some of these are cultural, right?
Right.
I know that my dad ran a tractor on a mint farm for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And holy goodness, there was hectares of mint. But boy, he would come home and like every pore on his body smelled like mint. He just couldn't get that smell out of him.
Yeah, I have a client that's a mint farm, and I've gone down and when just going in their office, the whole place is just imbued with that aroma, right? So a little overpowered.
And you probably felt good when you went in there, though, right?
Oh, yes. Sorry, Jesse's just telling me that people are saying stuff on Facebook. How do I get there to check that out? Hang on a second.
Okay, we're on hold here.
You go carry on.
Okay.
And I will see if I can find the
Lavender's pretty classic. It's, people say you should have lavender oil for sleep and calming and all sorts of things. But excuse me, I think hope is really active. So I don't know. And that's where I was sort of thinking of red. Because to me, hope is an active kind of thing. It's not a passive kind of thing. So yeah, peppermint and lavender are aromas of hope.
Now, Hey, Scott, you know what? Instead of checking with Google about flowers that are hopeful, you should have checked with Sheila Ferguson, because Sheila is telling us daylilies, orange. She knew the color here, daylilies, and then vanilla. I'm telling you, Sheila is right on. She could have researched this one for us, Scott. Sheila's commenting like crazy here. Thank you, Sheila.
Oh, good. Well, and we have some of these things are cultural, right? So when you go on the internet, I mean, we're talking, it's coming from all sorts of cultures and backgrounds. And I know that certainly vanilla is it's hyped as a scent that realtors should, put vanilla scent in the home. And there's even a big thing for a while that men should wear vanilla flavored aftershave because it was one of the most positive scents for women. Like these things sort of go through their cycles. So I think that ultimately, though, it's interesting to look at the things we find hopeful. And what I was going to suggest sort of at the end of this is that we all develop our own list of things that make us feel hopeful. And store that list away and even give it to people who you care about or your friends. So if they're seeing you slip down that road of not feeling so positive or hopeful, that they can lay some sights, some sounds, some flowers on you and help you get back in that hopeful attitude. So I do think that there's an actionable outcome of this list. It's debatable, and some of it, who knows where it's actually coming from. But I think developing your own list is really important. So we're going to use this list as a jump off point for you to develop your own list. Does that sound fair?
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
So just knowing that there's these kind of, I'm going to call them triggers, but positive triggers that will induce hope for you. Make up your own list, share it with your loved ones. When they're wanting to give you a little booster, they know what to do. They know what smell to let you enjoy and what maybe even food to cook for you that might make you increase your hope.
Well, it's like orange. I don't include orange in my favorite colors, but going through it, I have a secret love affair with orange. I look through my ties. I've got a lot of orange accents. I've got, a lot of orange things, but I don't consciously consider it a favorite color, but it keeps working its way into my life. So there's something about these things. Yes. You have a favorite color or a color that sneaks up on you that you don't think you like that actually does?
Nah, not really. My favorite is blue. My favorite color is blue, but I'm fairly I don't have any. I shouldn't say that. I don't have the awareness to know if I have that, but maybe it exists, right?
I should have asked Corolla, right?
Yes, she would know. Yes, she would probably know. Yes.
Okay, sounds of hope. These are some big ones. Ocean waves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I think that signifies travel too, or not only is it a peaceful sound, the ocean gives us a lot of bountiful food, and it powers, electricity cleanly. A lot of good things about water. Water is a big one, I think, in our lives.
You bet.
Feng Shui, water is one of the components to help get good energy flowing. Right?
Yeah.
Wind chimes.
Wind chimes.
This is a big one. Yeah.
Yep. I got a couple of those, and they're like, you get a windy day around here, there'd be dancing, they're really rocking then, but it is nice just to hear the little ting, 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 that it's nice. Yeah,
absolutely.
And you know what? Back, you're maybe going to get to it, but when you're talking about sounds as well, you've done this as a farm boy, laid down in like a tall crop or grass, and just the grass moving with the wind and the sound of the blades, blades of grass, rubbing against each other. That's a very soothing sound, right?
So, it is wonderful. Grain that's about to harvest, where it's a little bit dry, and that kind of rustling sound as they rub together. Oh, beautiful. But I got a challenge for a bucket list for all you farm kids or wannabe farm kids. Yeah, dried oats in the wind, beautiful sound. But just out of this world is a bamboo forest, and the bamboo in the wind clanks against each other, and they make sort of this reverberating sound, and depending on how thick they are and how old they are, they resonate differently. So it sounds like a whole percussion orchestra. So that's a really cool sound. If you ever get a chance to walk in a bamboo forest, I know some of you that are listening to us out there, that's just outside your door. But for those of us here in southern Alberta or in the northern climes, that's not an experience we've ever really had. Have you ever been in a bamboo forest, Al?
Have not. No.
Put it on your bucket list, man. It's pretty cool.
I bet it would be. Yes.
Yeah, it is really cool. And there's a sensual component when you move through it. Bamboo is kind of smooth, and then when the joints are, it's really quite rough. Yeah. They grow. They're basically a grass, right? They're in the family of grass. So when you move through them, there's this clickety clackety noise, and then different textures in them because they grow quite close. You have to weave in and out of them. Pretty cool. So is walking through the tall grass or the wheat or canola and feeling the grass and flowers on your hand. So get out and do that one. That'll give you some hope. Waterfalls is on the list. Sound of waterfalls.
That makes sense. Yeah. Back to water again.
Back to water.
Just the rhythms of water moving. Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, even, just a fountain, like a fountain in a lobby where it's running kind of a thing, right? Or a fountain in your backyard in your koi pond or whatever. Those are like amazing. You have one of those in your place, don't you? You got a koi pond?
I have one in my bedroom, actually. I turn it off when we're doing these because, of course, the sound is, I don't know.
Could be distracting.
How it picks it up. But for me, it's a great calming sound. It's where I work, and I've got one in the bedroom where I sleep, and it's really a grounding sound. I love that sort of trickling sound, and it was really inexpensive. I think I paid $12 for a little recirculating pump, and mine, the one in the office, is just a ceramic piece that's been made for it. It's got sort of an indent in one side, so the water comes out the top and just goes through this little indent and then circulates around, but it makes that sound like a waterfall. So it doesn't have to be expensive. I've seen it just done with a couple of bowls and some silicone and a piece of pipe, rubber tubing, pardon me. A lot of fun there. Easy to bring that sound indoors.
How about the sound from a tuning fork
Oh, yeah. That's nice. Which octave? I know nothing about music. Which high or low, which is better?
All right. Well, here's the way there's this gal, Eileen Musakakat. That's not the way to pronounce her name. But anyways, I can find her. She is the tuning fork guru gal, right? And so she talks about what is that frequency, the world renowned frequency, the 88 hertz, is it? It'll come to me. Basically, where she just has tuning forks, and then she has tuning forks that are like 5 times that basic level, and then 4. So the split between the two is one of the ideal, or the kind of the universal ideal vibration kind of a thing. And she uses it like a healing thing, like taking the stem of it and have it vibrating, and then put it on point like on meridian points, or put it on points on her face or her head, or this part here, like close your ear with it. Oh my, it like vibrates like crazy. It's a very interesting feeling. So yes.
Well, that keys in with Einstein's theory of movement, spooky movement at a distance, right? So one particle vibrates here, and all the way across the world, perhaps a particle vibrates at the same frequency, right? So again, something we know happens, but have no idea why it happens. So sound is something that definitely affects our bodies.
Yes.
When I'm working, I listen to techno music. It's really loud and aggressive, but it's actually at a beat. The rhythm is such, and I've done the research on this one too. Our bodies interpret it as an attack. So it keys our bodies up. It gives us a jump start. Our bodies sort of go into a semi-fight condition, and that sort of perks you up. And for me anyway, some people it just irritates because of the same reason.
Sure.
Can you guess where that's used, where that sound is used? It's not for hope, maybe the opposite of hope, actually, but it's used in an industry most people don't think of at the time, but it's used to affect almost all of us.
No, where's that used?
Movies. So yeah, when they want us to feel anxious about something, there's a range of sound that to human beings makes us feel nervous.
Yeah.
And movie producers, I have a friend whose brother does sound out in Vancouver for movies, and he was explaining how they use this sound to make us more apprehensive. They haven't shown the monster yet. Is that kind of don 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 sound? That was a really bad.
No, it was good, Scott. That was great. And you know what? Just for
You're
our
the
viewers,
singer. You should have done that.
Just for our viewers, information, edification. We're not going to charge any extra for the sound effects in this program,
Free.
right? All free. Just
absolutely, yeah.
Exactly.
And copyright free. Help yourself.
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
Copy that little clip, make it into a meme, share it regularly, or I don't know.
Let's go back to hope. So anyway, but last note on that note, next time you're in a movie and feeling really scared, just turn the sound down and it won't seem quite as scary. So
yeah, that's a good point, because you know what? You're kind of your mind is capturing that. But you're not consciously even aware of it often, right? Yeah. That's kind of how it works, right? That, you're being primed to be fearful because of that. And you're not even aware of why that's happening, right? So, yeah.
I used to watch movies as a kid looking through my fingers, right? You ever do that as a kid? But it's your imagination is always worse than the reality, right?
Yes.
Yes. So. Okay. Symbols of hope. And these are non-religious because, like I said, there's a lot that are tied up with personal beliefs and organized religion and things. But butterflies, number 1 hit for symbols of hope. Butterflies.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Rainbows.
Yeah, sure. Rainbows.
Yeah. I often wonder if we're the only ones that find pot of gold at the end of rainbows. Like, is that sort of a Western thing? I've never asked anyone about what they find at the end of rainbows. Does anyone?
I thought it was an Irish thing.
Well, sure. Okay.
Well,
my family's part of my family's Irish, so could well be. What do you find at the end of a rainbow?
Wait a minute. I'm probably basing that on Lucky Charms cereal commercials from like when I was 5 years old. Then it must be Irish. So I don't think I'd use that as a defining type of I don't think that's to be relied on, that data. So yeah. Anytime anyone says the Irish, I always think of the Irish Springs commercial. And I like it too, the pretty lass says after, Oh yeah. That's a good one.
Those?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of those terrible ads that were so good that 20 years on we still remember the punchline.
Yeah, exactly.
So babies, universally a sign of hope. I see that one.
I see that. I held a baby today.
Did you?
Yep. She's 3 months old. Adila, I believe was her name.
Pretty name.
Yeah, beautiful, healthy baby. Mom and dad were so proud. Grandpa and grandma were so proud. So yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. And
I
I
want
was
to
just like, because can I hold your baby? So anyways, it was fun. Yeah.
Well, my next comment may offend you then, because I always thought that I wanted to live old enough so that you can touch other people's babies without anyone being worried that you're some kind of creeper. Because my granddad, like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter how busy he was, what schedule he had to keep. If there was a baby, he was detouring, dropping whatever he was doing, and he was going to see that kid. And he would just pick it up, and he was in his 90s, and everyone was good. And I thought, boy, I really hope I live long enough that people will let me hold their babies, because I love babies. And so I hope we live long enough. But
now, can I interject something, or is there more on your list you want to get to right now?
Well, there's more, but interject. Go ahead. I'm almost there.
You've just set it up perfectly for me. Your thing was, I hope I live long enough to be able to do this, right?
Right.
Meet these new human beings and say hello to them and that kind of a thing. So I watched this video with this guy, and you know what? If this will let me share it, I'm just going to share like 2 minutes of it here. Google Chrome. Yeah, this one should be it. Not that.
Oh,
hang on. It's kind of, we're in a little bit of a time loop there, or we're looking at ourselves. Let's try this again. Okay, I know what I got to do. I know, Sister Google, help me, honey. We know what we need here. Where is it? There it is. No. There it is. Okay, good. I'm going to try this share thing again. And I just want to introduce you to this guy, because I think you'll find him a very interesting cat. Okay, you can see Sergi Young here, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's see if you can hear the audio. Oh.
What can be stronger and more beautiful than our desire to live? But 60% of people in America would choose not to extend their lifespan, even if they could.
Okay, so my point here, he says 60%, and this is assuming good health, right? That
right.
You're going to maintain good health. 60% of the people in this survey, this kind of blows my mind, wouldn't want to extend their life.
Wow.
So 40% would. 40% want to be that you're like your grandpa introducing themselves to new humans, right?
Yeah.
And 60% said, no thanks, I had enough, right?
Wow.
So the rest of his video there, I think it's beautiful. He has the plan. He's going to live to be 150 years old, and he's going to have health. 1 billion people live to be 150. He's done all the math, the science, and he says this is how it is. He says, but the first most important part is people have to design a life that they want to live that long, right?
Yeah,
they have to make that life is that important, what they want to achieve in it, or what they want to experience, or so that's his thing about, let's start by addressing what would this long life, great, but what would this long, amazing life look like, right? What would I need to know? What would I need to do? Who would I want to help? What difference would I want to make in the world? And it's a beautiful way of thinking about it, right? Because if you had hope of a healthy future for several decades to come, and then said, okay, with this time, with this energy, with the skill set that I have, where could I apply that and make a difference? Where could, that kind of a thing. And then, because you want to achieve those things, and because you want to have the energy and the mental clarity to pull that off, you're going to make the decisions in your life that are going to allow you the capacity to make those differences. That's my interpretation of his video. Anyways, it was a really well done video, and got me thinking that way, that, if you wanted to be at your optimal in order to make the biggest contribution for the longest period of time, then would be a really easy thing, making sure that you looked after getting enough sleep, keeping getting enough exercise, choosing nutrition that works well for you and gives you strength and vitality and health, right? So I thought it was very hopeful. If you wanted to have a long, fulfilling life of contribution, then decide that, and then follow these steps in order to be able to deliver on that vision.
That's pretty cool. That's interesting. I think it's a common trope recently vampire movies, I guess it's sort of over now, but there used to be a big thing about vampires. And a common theme is that, immortal vampires or some sort of immortal creature gets really tired of living forever because its life has become stale and there's no end. So there's no life in life kind of thing. So,
well, Scott, that's true. But then the characters they're portraying, the vampires, are they like trying to make the world a better place? They're only trying to satisfy their needs, right? Like get the girl and kill the people and drink the blood and all that kind of thing. That it's nothing. It's only getting what they want. Well, I guess once you've had that 8 million times, yeah, probably there's like not much interest in carrying on with that anymore, right? So yeah.
No, and I think that our society builds in sort of a negative to that. Like I know that my grandfather, he lived to be 94, died in an accident, not of his causing. And when he was about 86, he said, he's a very religious man. He said, if I die tonight, I'm okay with that. I've seen enough. A lot of my friends have passed on. My grandmother has passed on. I'd like to see what comes next. That was a big thing for him. He was ready. He wasn't wishing for it, but no. Like you said, but he was also, he didn't have a lot of purpose in society. Like society retires us. I have another friend that has been forced to retire at 65 and they're still young and healthy. And, they're dealing with this fact that basically society's telling them, well, we don't really need you anymore. Mm-hmm. And, they're sort of in this personal spot where they're trying to find relevancy. I don't think many people, we certainly don't teach it. I think maybe we should. This idea of planning for having a productive life, like you were talking about, most of us sort of bumble through our teenage years. I certainly did. And then sort of power through your 20s, wishing you were older. And then, when you get older, you kind of wish you were younger. And there's not a grand plan. And usually around middle age, we kind of decide, well, we should start helping people. And I know that like with us teaching volunteerism in our youth program is to try and get people more involved at a younger age in helping others and helping the community. But I do think our society is arranged that for a time when we didn't live this long. And, sort of there's a built-in obsolescence. Like at 65, I just turned 55 and I can't imagine in 10 more years that I'm going to be, ready to stop working. I love work. I love doing stuff. I can't imagine
10 years, you're going to be way healthier than you are today.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Like you're on the path. You're on the slow but sure path to restoring your health. Are you not?
I am.
I know. I agree.
But I do think, and probably you agree with me. I mean, you and I are entrepreneurs. We work for ourselves. So that means you never get to quit. But a lot of people, that are working in 9-to-5 jobs or, working for corporations or companies or other people, there's often mandatory retirement days. And, the whole idea behind senior discounts and that somehow you have to be treated special when you hit 65. I haven't really met people at 65 anymore that are retirable.
Scott, yesterday I had a nice chat with Connie Marie Rudelheiber from Volunteer Lethbridge, and she is their coordinator for their seniors program, or the kind of outreach program for seniors, because of course COVID has really made isolation a very harsh reality for many people, and for seniors even more so, right? And so when she's explained to me her programs, they start at age 50, Scott. So according to Connie Marie, you are already a senior, my friend.
Well, yeah, that's true. We had a big discussion here. I was going through something and it said at 55 you qualify for their senior discount. So I was like, oh well, I'm a senior citizen now. So, but really, I think it's a type of, I don't want to say it's as bad as sexism or racism or those types of things, but certainly ageism is a problem when we're talking about quality of life, because we haven't organized. I think you hit it right on the head when you call it organized. We do have to organize not only our personal lives, but our society a little better to make ourselves opportunities to live productive, happy lifestyles well beyond 65. And, that goal or that milestone keeps moving. Each generation it moves, or even intergenerationally. In my lifetime, it's changed 4 or 5 years. I was looking it up from the time I was born until now. Life expectancy for men has moved, women as well. So,
and you think about, I don't know if this is your experience, but it certainly is mine. When I think about some people that I have a tremendous amount of respect for and accept what they say, Dr. Gabor Mate, he's like 72 or something, right? Mm-hmm. Dr. Michael Clapper, he's 73 or 74, something like that. So, these are people that have dedicated their whole life to their field of study. And it's not, I don't in any way question their mental capacities or whether their memory's working correctly, or, they are sharp and bright and articulate, right? And know their stuff. They've lived these experiences, right? So, yeah. So anyways, I guess my point is, yes, there is a thing where, and probably when I was 20, what did I think of somebody who was 60? They're useless. Done. Get the hell out. Right. Like, that I'm sure I thought that. Now I look at people that are in their 70s, even in their 80s, and they're sharp, they're bright, they're contributing, and they're very confident. Yeah. Confident and committed in the difference they want to make, right? They've kind of realized, hey, my clock's running down. I got this much time left. I'm gonna, here's where I want to give a final push for make the rest of my life the best of my life. Just this, what's left? Let's do it, right? So,
well, and I think that's the hope we all have, and it's my grandfather always at night, he would, say goodnight, and he would say, "Oh, one more clean shirt will do me," kind of thing. And so
that tomorrow's going to be like, that's his last day.
Yeah, that'll be his last day. And he said that for 20 years, I think. And in my Irish grandfather's humor, that was a very funny way of saying, life is good and I'm happy and looking forward to tomorrow.
Yes.
And I think that we all need to do that. Is whatever our situation is, just keep looking forward to tomorrow and keep looking forward to helping others and being productive and helping yourself and taking care of yourself, taking care of others. And don't worry about the mileage, right? Worry about the quality of those miles and what have you done.
Beautifully said, Scott Sweetman. Beautifully said. Okay, that I think we should end right there. That's a good way to close this off. You good?
I'm good.
Okay. Folks, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Next week, we're going to have our research department on overtime to come up with an even better show. Right, Scott?
I can let you know right now, because I'm already on it. We're going to talk about technology and hope.
Technology and hope.
Yep.
All right.
How does that sound?
That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So as you have surmised, Scott is the research guy.
Yeah, Al's my fearless leader. So
earlier this week, Scott would contact me and say, "Hey, where do I find these videos you made of all the mayor's ones?" And my answer was very succinct. Scott, I am a content creator, not a content curator. You find it, brother. I don't know where it goes. I do this part, and then what happens after that, who knows? So.
But like you said, Sheila maybe should replace me because she's got it in spades by the
look at that. I know Sheila's right on top of it. Sheila, thank you for your contribution. Maybe next week you'll even call in. Share your
Give
thoughts.
it a try. Somebody call us.
Yeah, exactly. I got to cancel this phone if I'm not going to get anybody calling me on it, right?
They might retire us, right, Al? If we don't. Take it easy,
all right,
brother. We'll talk to you next week.
Keep well.
Thanks,